आपदामपहर्तारं दातारं सर्वसम्पदां लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामं भूयो भूयो नमाम्यहम्। आर्तानामार्तिहन्तारं भीतानां भीतिनाशनं द्विषतां कालदण्डं तं रामचन्द्रं नमाम्यहम्। सन्नद्धकवची खड्गी चापबाणधरो युवा गच्छन्ममाग्रतो नित्यं रामः पातु स लक्ष्मणः। नमः कोदण्डहस्ताय सन्धीकृतशराय च खण्डिताखिलदैत्याय रामायापन्निवारिणे। रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेदसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीतायाः पतये नमः। अग्रदपृष्ठदश्चैव पार्श्वदश्च महाबलौ आकर्णपूर्णधन्वानौ रक्षेतां रामलक्ष्मणौ। मङ्गलं कौसलेन्द्राय महनीयगुणाब्धये चक्रवर्ती तनूजाय सार्वभौमाय मङ्गलम्। सियावर रामचन्द्र की जय, पवनसुत हनुमान की जय, उमापति महादेव की जय, बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय। सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। यतः सर्वाणि भूतानि प्रतिभान्ति स्थितानि च यत्रैवोपशमं यान्ति तस्मै सत्यात्मने नमः। We have seen the first chapter. First chapter over. What is the first chapter? वैराग्य प्रकरणम। वैराग्य क्या है उसके बारे में या नेक्स्ट वन इज अथ द्वितीयोऽध्यायः। दिस इज अबाउट द नेक्स्ट प्रकरण इज अकॉर्डिंग टू गुरुजी मुमुक्षु व्यवहार प्रकरणम। मुमुक्षु व्यवहार मीनिंग a mumukshu, how does he look at the world? How does he transact in the world? Because the question was raised by Bharadwaja. Bharadwaja asked, what is the vyavahara of Sri Rama, who is Jivan Mukta? And how a Jivan Mukta will do is vyavahar, transaction in the world. As an ordinary person, we will not be able to see any difference at all. Really speaking, a Jivan Mukta is not somebody unique by external forms or external features. Such a person would not be doing something different. You will also be eating, you will also be sleeping, you will also be drinking, you will also be doing everything else. But the mind of a Jivan Mukta, only a Jivan Mukta will know. Or another Jivan Mukta will know. Like if a bird has flown in the sky, only the other bird will know which way it went. You and I cannot understand that. In Tamil it's a pambin called pambariyam. Meaning when a snake has gone, you cannot find any trace of it. But another snake will know. And dog also knows which dog has gone where. So Jivan Mukta alone would know the nature of another Jivan Mukta. Now here, who are the sadhakas vyavahar? Mumukshoho vyavaharaha. One who desires to liberate, mokshasya ichcha mumukshuta. Moksham me bhuyat iti ichcha. Mokshaha me bhuyat. May I become liberated. Yasya asti etat ichcha. Esha ichcha. One who has this kind of a desire is a mumukshu. So, tasya vyavaharaha kaha. What kind of a vyavahara? So, here Vishwamitra is continuing his conversation with Sri Rama. And, who is Sri Rama? Narada was asked by Valmiki ji, is there anybody in this world who is a person of such integrity? Ko nyasmin sampratam loke gunavan kascha viryavan dharmajnascha kritajnascha satyavacho dhridavrataha. Satyavadi dhridavrataha. Is there anybody who is dharmajnaha, kritajnaha, satyavadi, gunavan, viryavan? Yes. Ikshago amsha prabhavaha Ramo nama jane shrutaha. Yes, there is a person. So such a Rama, when he has become full of vairagya, and we saw in the Vairagya Prakarana how he has no more interest in the world, having observed the world, saying that mritaye jayate, for the sake of dying alone people are born, then jananabi, for birth also, for only rebirth again. So here, such one, he said that I don't see any purpose of kim no rajyena govinda, like what Arjuna asked. Kim bhogehi sukhenava. What by bhoga, what am I going to do? This vairagya is necessary for a sadhak, but not to the extent of committing suicide or leaving the body. So, one part of it is correct, the other part is not correct. What part is correct? Vairagya you should have, but not displeasure and unpleasantness, negative aspect or negative perception of the world. And that is where knowledge comes. Vairagya is necessary for knowledge. In the absence of knowledge, Vairagya leads to depression. And nothing is going wrong. What is the use? Everything is going to die. Everything is temporary. What is the purpose of living? So, bodham avashyakam. Jnanam avashyakam bhavati. Avashyam bhavati. So, here Vishwamitra is speaking to him in the chapter number 2. Na ragavat tavasyanyate Jneyam jnanavatam vara Swayameva sukshmaya buddhya Sarvam vijñātavanasi Tavaha anyad na asti Tavaha anyat jneyam na asti. Why? Jnanavatam varaha tvam. You are Jnanavatam varaha. You are the best among the knowers of the truth. Meaning, it is that you have forgotten. See, Ramavatar is where Bhagavan acts and behaves like any other human being, appearing as though he doesn't know anything. Then only the teaching can take place. Unless you admit that you don't know, the teacher is useless. Then what does the teacher do? So here Rama appears to be not knowing anything. So Jnanavatambara Jneyam Anyat Tava Na Asti He Raghava. Oh Raghava, there is nothing else that you don't know. What is to be known? As we saw, Jneyam Yat Yat Pravachami Yajnatvam Mridam Ashnute, Bhagavan Krishna said. In the 13th chapter also he is talking about Jneyam, what is to be known. So here there is nothing. Swayameva sukshmaya buddhya sarvam vijnatavanasi. With your very fine intellect, sarvam vijnatavan asi. You are a person who has understood everything with your very keen intellect. So vairagya creates the sharpness of the intellect. We all have buddhi, but it becomes dull because of its distractions. When our priorities are on many things, we are unfocused. Our ability to focus is there, but smudged by many other things. It's like when you take a camera and then start focusing. Nowadays, an autofocus also. So when you start focusing, then it becomes clearer and sharp. In the same way, the mind or the intellect here becomes more focused when there are no other distractions. So removing the distraction is the nature of vairagya. When vairagya is there, then the intellect becomes sharp. Guruji used to say, clarity of the intellect is supported by purity of the mind. Mind is pure, mind has purity, then there is buddhi as clarity. And Gurudev used to say, when the mind is quiet, intellect becomes sharp. So here, swayameva sukshmaya buddhya. Sukshma buddhi is viveka buddhi. Atma anatta vivechanam krita buddhi. The intellect that has done clear distinction between Atma Anatma. What is real, what is self and what is not the self. So, Nitya Anitya Vastu Viveka Krita Buddhihi. Avyavasayika Buddhi, Avyavasayatmika Buddhi. Mind uncultivated, Bahuta Bhavati. As Bhagavan Krishna said, Vyavasayatmika Buddhihi Ekeha Kurunandana. Bahusha kahi anantascha buddhir avyavasayinam. Uncultivated mind has too many thoughts. A cultivated mind has got one-pointed focus. So here he says, Sukshmaya buddhya vijnatavan asi swayameva. Yourself. Until this point you have already observed correctly that nothing is permanent, etc. But then what makes an individual not able to get that clarity is because of too many vasanas. So it says next verse, Vasana tanavam rama moksha ityuchate budhaihi padartha vasana dhardyam bandha ityabhidhiyate. Vasana tanavam. Tanavam means thinning down, reducing. So, when one reduces the intensity of the vasanas, to that extent, you start experiencing moksha. Moksha is not suddenly one day happens. If somebody says, suddenly one day I got moksha, such people you stay far away from. Because there cannot be sudden moksha. Yesterday onwards I stopped having anger. Suddenly. If suddenly it happens, suddenly it will go away also. So it is a gradual engagement in the correct pursuit, because of which vasana's intensity has started to reduce. To the extent vasana is reduced, to that extent you are free. When the mind is no more driven by the desires, to that extent the mind is quiet. So like when you are ready to sleep, I want to sleep, I want to sleep, I want to sleep, I want to sleep. If that thought is not there, other thoughts will come and occupy. When that particular thought intensifies, you start slowly going towards the bedroom. Right? And then you lie down. I want to sleep, I want to sleep. The sound of Ananda comes. We're already in the state of oneness with the Nidra Devi. In the same way, as the vasanas start reducing, to that extent there is inner joy, contentment, happiness, peace. But how many vasanas we have? No idea. So whenever we refer to samsara sagara, huge ocean, what does it mean? Is vasana sagara it is. It's a mighty ocean of vasanas. Plenty of them. So vasana tanavam, moksha. Moksha is none other than complete reduction of vasanas. When reduction of vasana takes place, to that extent mind feel liberated from the world. That's why he says, vasana tanavam rama moksha iti uchate budaihi. Budaihi, by the men of wisdom, uchate is spoken, moksha, what? Reduction of vasanas. But is it easy? By the time we recognize that it's a vasana, it is already damage is done. By the time one is over, another one has come. Not 100. Padartha vasana dhardyam. Strong hold of vasanas on your personality is called bandha. Is called bondage. So bondage is not created by the world. None of the things in the world can create bondage to you. If somebody is making vada, it doesn't say vada vada. That's it. Vada is not calling you. You are going to the vada. The spirituality available in bottle does not by itself come to you. You go towards it. Isn't it? Available in, bottles. So that is not coming to you. You are going to it. When you walk by the aisle in the, duty-free aisles. Because when you have that, you become free of duty. That's why it's called duty-free shops. It is not that they invite you, even though the people who are standing outside, come on, come on. And you have choice to go or not to go. So objects in the world are not by itself binding you. If you have vasana for it, you go for it. So what is binding you is your vasana, not the object. So vasana, padartha vasana dhardyam, dridata. A very firm hold of vasanas, bandha iti abhidiyate. That is called bondage. So, not that Rama does not know, but Sri Rama knows that, but then here it is for the sake of teaching all of us. And then, now Vishwamitra said, this much only I can tell you, now Vyasa Vasistha will tell you later. My part is introduction to the subject. I have done my introduction. Now here onwards, because after all it will be called as Yogaa Vasistha, not Vishwamitra Yoga. So, Tadanantaram Vishwamitrena Preritassan Vasishto Vacha Sarvada Sarvameveha Samsare Raghunandana Samyak Prayuktat Sarvena Paurushat Samavapyate. Hey Raghunandana, oh delights of the Raghu dynasty, Samsare Iha. In this world of samsara, I told you who is a samsari? Samsari is one who is somebody who is very sorry. Samsarati iti samsara. Sarati means moves. Samyak, constant movement is called samsara. Samsara is not some particular thing. It is a constant change is referred as samsara. Our mind is changing, body is changing, world is changing, condition is external, is constantly changing, weather is changing. Weather is changing, that's why we always say weather this way, weather that way, I don't know. That's called weather. Whether it will rain or not, we don't know. That's called weather. Nowadays, is it raining? Let me check. To open the window and see, in the phone. Is it raining? Wait, no. Siri, is it raining? Everything in the Karatala, Amala Kavat, everything available to you in your in the hand. Sarvada, at all time, Sarvam eva, everything, iha asmin loke, samsare, he Raghunandana, Paurushat samyak avapyate. Everything can be obtained in this world. How it can be done? Paurushat, Purusha prayatnena. By self-effort alone, anything can be obtained in this world. Samyak prayuktat paurushat. Well engaged Purusha Prayatna. Prayatna we all do. As Guruji would say, some people will do wholeheartedly, some people do half-heartedly, some people do quarter-heartedly. Meaning not at all, anyway karenge. We also do the sadhana like that also. One lady came to me and said, my mind is so disturbed, Swamiji, what should I do? A simple thing is do japa. How long? One japa, one mala at least 108 times. Okay. After a week she came back and said, nowadays I am doing 2 rounds, Swamiji, are you happy? I said, why are you doing for my happiness? It's not for me you are doing. So that sadhana also to be done for my own progress. Not because I have to somehow, Bhagavan happy, I am doing 2 malas. Okay? Ishwara prityartam aham karomi. Ishwara priti ho gaya. He is always happy. Why should you be making him happy? So anything that we do is for our own progress, our own upliftment. When we understand that, Sarvedharshya says, Samyak Prayuktat, well engagement, Paurushat, Sarvam Iha, Samsare, Samyak Avapyate. Everything can be obtained, even in the worldly thing also. When you put the right effort in right direction, consistently, you will get it. Whether you are pursuing a professional excellence or any perfection in any skill, the required amount of sweat and toil, Gurudev would say, is necessary. Then you will obtain it. If you do half-heartedly or unwillingly, hesitatingly, then it won't happen. So here, what is a prayatna? Overcoming vasana is a prayatna. Is it not? As it is said, vasana tanavam moksha. It comes from Vivek Chodamani also. Jnatevasthanyabhi balavati vasananadiresha karta bhoktyapyahamiti drada yasya samsara hetuhu pratyak drishtya nivasati sada sa apaneya prayatnat muktim prahut tadihamunuyo vasanatanavam yat. Muktihi vasanatanavam. That's what is quoted there. Here it came to Vivekachudamani, not the other way around. Vivekachudamani picked up from here. Vasanatanavam moksha. And even as one knows the highest truth, jnate vastunyapi balavadi vasana nadiresha. So strong. And what it is expressing? Karta bhokta api aham iti. मैं कर रहा हूँ, मैं करता हूँ, मैं भोगता हूँ. I am the doer, I am the enjoyer. It is this way the vasanas are dwelling there. See, can there be a karta without a bhoktrutva? If I have no enjoyment to be enjoyed, I do not engage in that action. Bhokta eva karta bhavati. Yasya bhoga icha, bhogasya icha, sa eva karta. Who is the doer? One who wants to enjoy something. So, bhoga eva karmanaha karanam. Cause of action is none other than the desire. If a bhoktrutva is not there, kartrutva won't be there. Bhoktrutvam vina kartrutvam karmayogam bhavati. है कि नहीं? जिसके पास भोक्तृत्व नहीं है, I do not want to be an enjoyer, but I want to do the action, then it becomes niyata karma, nitya karma, kartavya karma. Kartavya karmana phalam nasti. Really speaking, कर्तव्य कर्म में फल नहीं है, फिर भी करना है. वही है मनःशुद्धि हेतु. When I do action knowing well there is no result, yet do it, then that will result in purity of mind. What is purity of mind? There is no anxiety because there is no result. Only when the result there is an anxiety. There is no result at all. Anyway, that's a different topic altogether. But kartavya karma should not become kamya karma. So, kartavya buddhya yaha karma karodi sayeva karma yogi tasya phalam tasya karmanaha phalam chitta shuddhi. So, bhoktrutvam vina kartrutvam na. But bhoktrutvam vina yaha karma karodi. If a person does action without that idea that I want to enjoy, then that becomes vasana tanava hetuhu. It becomes the reducer of vasanas. Because kartavya karma is not out of vasana, please. Whatever is given as kartavya to be done, it's not a product of vasana. All the vasana chodita karma becomes kamya karma only. Whatever has been impelled by vasanas are all desire prompted actions. Tasmat, that Bhagavan also said, kartavyam karma kuru. Tasmat asakta sadadam karyam karma samachara. Karyam karma, kartavya karma. What is to be done? Satatam, always. So here, sarvada prayatnena, paurushat, samyak prayuktat, samyak avapyate. Now he is giving an idea. So vasanas are those which push you to action. There can be two kinds of vasanas. Those vasanas which will release you, those will bind you. These vasanas which are of the Shubha nature, pure nature, auspicious nature is also known as samskara. Another word for Shubha vasana is samskar. Now you see here, Dvivito vasana vyuhaha shubhaschaiva shubhaschate vasanaugena shuddhena tatra chetapaniyase tatkramena shubhenaiva padam prapsyasi shashvatam adacheda shubho bhavaha yatna chetavya eva saha dvividaha. Two kinds of vasanas. Vasana vyuhaha samuhaha. There are two kinds of vasana accumulation or vasana groups, so to say. Shubhaschaiva ashubhaschate. They are, one is Shubha and is Ashubha. They both are regarded as, one set of them are known as Shubha Vasana, another set of are known as Ashubha Vasana. Shuddhena Vasana Ogena. From the group of, Oga means group, Shuddha, of the nature of purity, pure Vasanas, Tatra Chet, if it is there, Tatra means Yasmin Dehe Manasi, in one whose mind, not Dehe, Manasi Asti Chet, there, then Apaniyase, Moksha Marge Apaniyase. It will lead you to moksha. Moksha Chet Apaniyase. It will lead you towards the moksha. Ni, Nayati means to lead. Niyase, you will be led. Towards what? Towards moksha. That is to be understood. You are being led by the Shubha Vasana. So, what is the Shubha Vasana? Going to a guru and listening. Shravanam abhi Vasana only. Right? Shravanam, listening to the Mahavakyas or Upadesha from the teacher or study of Swadhyaya, Ityadi, they are also Vasanas only. But we can be recorded as Samskaras. Like when children are brought to Balavihar, what we are giving them is Samskar. Not somebody's car. Samskar. Samskar means, see, an action we all do. We can do the action with Rajasic mind or Tamasic mind also. When Arjuna came to the battlefield to fight the war, he had a Rajasic mind. I want to kill these fellows who had deprived our country for me and for our, Panchapandavas. We have eligible for this, getting our country back, but they are not giving. So I want to take a revenge on this. Kill that Karna, kill that Duryodhana, kill that everybody. So with that attitude only he came to fight. Now think about it. At the end of it also he is going to fight. What changed? His attitude. Why I am fighting? Fight I must, but why I should fight? So the change is from Rajas to Sattva. Action remaining the same, the purpose changed. The attitude changed. The temperament has changed. So too in our life, we have to do the action, but let it not be driven by Rajas or Tamas. Action will continue, but the attitude will change. From Tamas to Rajas, Rajas to Sattva. Sattva pravritya, Sattva gunehi, karma kuru. Karma, you have to do the action, but then the background changes to Sattva. When that background or the force behind that very thought has become sattvic, then it becomes samskar. So that is why when children are studying in that, so not that we are asking them to stop what they are going to do, but then your purpose and attitude with which you will live in this world, that's why in the pledge also we'd say producing more than what we consume, that is sattva. Giving more than what we take, that is sattva. Fighting all the low tendencies and false values, that is sattva. You see? Standing together as a family, loving each other, that is sattva. So, the action remaining the same, how you do it must be changed. From Ashubha Vasana to Shubha Vasana. So, it is not non-action, it is action with a greater purpose. That will lead you to moksha. That's why it is said, Shuddhena Vasana Ogena Tatra Chet. If it is there, Apaniyase, you will be led. Moksham Prati Apaniyase. Tat Krabena Shubena Eva Padam Prapsyasi. That very path led by Shubha Vasana alone, Shashvatam Padam Prapsyasi. You will obtain eternal abode of the Lord. Asanga Shastrena Dradena Chitva Tata Padam Tat Parimargitavyam. Is it not in 15th chapter? Tata Padam Tat Parimargitavyam. What Padam is? That is Padam means, Bhagavan said, that's me. You will come to me. So here, Kramena, that's why I said it's a gradual movement towards the truth, towards the reality, towards liberation. Kramena, Shubena eva, Shubena means Shubha Vasana eva, Shashvatam Padam Prapsyasi. You will reach the ultimate eternal abode. Adachet Ashubha Bhavaha. If it is there on the other hand, if you are understanding that Shubha Vasana alone will take, then what do you do with Ashubha Vasana? Ashubha Bhavaha Chetavyaha. Chetavyaha meaning Nashitavyaha. It has to be destroyed. Eva. How? Prayatnat. Yatnat Chetavyaha. By effort you must destroy. That is why he said, Karta Bhokta Pahamidi Drada Vasananadiresha Pratyadrishtya Nivasadi Sada Sapaneya Prayatnat. With effort alone, one can really overcome this Ashubha Vasana. Because this has become Swabhav. Swabhav ho gaya. Swabhav means what? Natural tendency towards wrong things, towards impurities, towards agitations, towards desire-prompted actions, towards selfishness. Selfishness is like selling fish, very smelly. A person who is full of selfishness, you cannot stand with that person. Isn't it? Like a selling fish. This personality is very nauseating. One person was selling fish, So other fellow, it's written on a board. Fresh fishes are sold here. Big board. A friend came. What have you written? My returns, fresh fishes are sold here. He said, or anybody, will you write any, do you need to write fresh fishes? Always you fish, otherwise who will buy? So why do you need to have fresh fishes? You just say fishes sold here. Finished. You are right. Removed fresh. Fishes sold here. Next day he came. You are selling only, you are not exhibiting. Why do you need to say sold here? So fishes here. Next day he came. Here only, where else? Fishes. Next day he came. You don't need to tell. Do you need to tell when you're selling fish? So you don't need to write anything there. Just sit there. So selfishness is like that. Smelly. Bad smell. So the personality which is selfish, prayatnat chetavya. That swabhava, it has become so much of a natural tendency for us. And interestingly, around us also everybody is like that, so we don't feel bad at all. If you are among the people always, those who are very selfish, you don't feel, yeah, I'm also like this, what's wrong? That's why when one comes to satsanga, he comes to understand, oh, this is wrong. What I have been thinking, how I have been doing is wrong. And many people can't take it, no, because when you're wrong, how much you can take? That's why it's so bitter. At the end, we'll give some prasad with sweet. Go. You have been listening 1 hour. Whatever is bitter, you cannot accept. Okay, chalo, kuch prasad le lo, chalo. So I cannot take too much of bitterness. So here, because of our natural swabhava to go towards what is Ashubha Vasana, for that matter, we do not even know what is Shubha Vasana. That is another thing. We are not even exposed to that. In the midst of people who are all selfish and narrow-minded, how will that person will even know that there is an alternative? Is there a choice? The choice is not even known. Then there is no choice at all. So here, Bhagavan is being told that there is something called Shubha Vasana. So he continues here. Shubha Shubhabhyam Marghabhyam Vahanti Vasana Sarit Paurashena Prayatnena Yojaniya Shubhe Pati Vasana Sarit. This river called Vasana, Vahanti, flows. Shubha Ashubhabhyam Margabhyam. In 2 paths, Shubha Marga and Ashubha Marga. The river flows in both ways. Whenever you come to a temple or do some kind of such festival, etc., or some observation, to some extent the mind goes into that direction. But for a short period of time, back home, again, as soon as you finish this any puja here, there and all that, you go there and then go back home. Again, what do you do? Serial. Eating cereal, watching cereal, and never seeing what is real. Mind glides into that again, back to the same one only. So, Shubha Ashubhabhyam Margabhyam Vahanti Vasana Sarit. So, the river called Vasana is moving, which is already had been said in the Upanishad that all. Shreyascha Preyascha Manushyametaha Tausam Paritya Vivinakti Dhiraha. Is it not? Shreya Marga and Preya Marga. Shreya Marga is the path of the good and Preya is path of the pleasure. So these two are there. Shreyascha Preyascha Manushyametaha Tausam Paritya Vivinakti Dhiraha. Only a man of intelligence and discrimination can distinguish these two. Many people, most of us, we don't even know that there is Shreya Marga. There is a path of good. Until we get exposed to some satsanga or knowledge, we will not know that path is available. Or even if it is there, we know it. Abhi nahi. Determined ke baat karenge. Agle janam mein karenge kya? This janam mein nahi hoga. We always have this excuse, no, in Hinduism. Agle janam. That's what he said last time also. Agle janam mein dekhenge. This janam mein nahi hoga. This janam I want to enjoy. Pleasure, pleasure. Next birth, from beginning onwards. From kindergarten onwards. How do you know? How do you know, first of all, that you will be a human being first? That itself is questionable now. It doesn't look like you will be one. So how will you do that? So that is why iha cheda vedi tata satyamasti. Do it now. Na ched iha avedin mahati vinashtihi. If you don't do it, great is the destruction you cause to yourself. So shubha shubhabhyam marghabhyam bhahanti vasana sarit. So whenever the mind is going towards the ashubha vasana, prayatnena paurushena yojaniya. Redirect it. Shubham prati. Shubha marge. So whenever the mind by swabhava, by the nature, it is going towards the ashubha vasanas or expression of ashubha vasana, shanaihi uparamet buddhya triti grihitaya. The moment you notice that it is going by swabhava, by habit, that's why Bhagavan said abhyas karo. And Arjuna said, my mind is so uncontrollable, right? My mind is so, this is definitely referring to all of us. Chanchalam hi mana krishna pramadi balavadridam tasyaham nigraham manye vayoriva sudushkaram. Bhagavan did not deny it. Asamshayam mahabaho mano durnigraham chalam. He did not say, what are you talking? Foolish. No, he said, exactly. Mind is chanchal hai. And some people keep the name Chanchal. Kya kare usko? What is your name? Chanchal. What a wonderful, true to your... You know, in Sanskrit, Jalpa means prattling. Useless prattling. Some people keep the name. What's your name? Jalpa. Oh, wonderful. So here, Chanchalam hi mana Krishna, this Bhagavan says, yeah, asamshayam mahabaho, manodurnikraham chalam, abhyasena. Abhyas karne se, prayatnat, abhyasam is a prayatna here. Prayatnat abhyasena, paurushena, with effort. What is the difference between Purusha and Prayatna? Purusha is more of determined nature. Not just a prayatna, but effort with greater determination. Purusha prayatnena, paurushena prayatnena, yojaniya, guide your mind. Shubham prati. Shubham pati or marge. Shubham pati, shubhe pati or shubham prati, shubhe pati in the path towards moksha margam prati. Moksha marge pati, in that path. And Guruji has written beautifully, what are the things to be done? First, by intellectually alert. Keeping our mind well informed, in other words. More and more we get exposed to this knowledge, more and more inclination towards that happens. It is like if somebody says, I like baseball or American football, which is the most... Anyway, I don't want to say anything. How did it happen? Because continuously you are watching every day. The child, when he is small, it doesn't know. Then the father is already addicted to it. So come on, watch. Then obviously the child also. So intellectual exposure is necessary. So that is the first step. Second is independent analysis. One has to think, what is that which I actually want in my life? Is it I want the eternal peace and joy or temporary pleasures and fleeting ones? So one has to analyze it carefully. What will lead to what? Analysis, right? The third one is, how do I, the present habits and way of thinking, how do I substitute with the new found ways of thinking or doing? Unless you apply it, it will not give any benefit. If you are learning yoga, as I said last time also, if you are learning yoga by reading a book, how will you ever do it? Somebody, no, I cannot swim. It's really I cannot swim. Why? Because many times people said, "Do you want to swim, Swamiji? First step is to get into the water." No, I won't. Tell me how to swim without me getting into the water. How do you ever learn swimming without getting into the water? Even Tejamanju cannot swim, you know that? Guruji cannot swim. So he said, only American Airlines made me swim. Oh, what happened? Because in that ticket, they've written, Tejo Mayananda swam. So there is no I, place for I, Tejo Mayananda swam. See? He swam. So unless you practice, how will it happen? So substitution. So the mind gravitates towards its usual thing. No. Do in place of this. And that alternative should be something which is more productive and less harmful to you, to your progress. It should be more conducive. You cannot say, I stopped drinking coffee, Swamiji. Oh, what do you do? Tea. If you die drinking coffee in 100 days, you will die in 99 days. No, other way around. Coffee, if you drink, you will die in 100 days. The other way around, 99 days. Tea, 100 days. That's why when I take the people to Kashi, etc., I tell them, you have to give up something. One lady said, I gave up tea, Swamiji. Oh, very good. Next day morning, she was drinking tea. You said yesterday that you gave up tea. Oh, evening tea. It's so difficult. Swabhava is so strong. So substitution must be something which will stop the other one. Then outgrowing, by knowing the defects, dosha drishtya. By seeing the defect of a thing, you will not go back to it again. Outgrowing means what? No more I need. By substitution, you find that can be spared. I don't want to depend upon anymore. It's like your child which is playing with some toys, etc., and afterwards, as it grows, it becomes more interested in maybe biking or skiing, etc. Then it leaves away the toys. Very generously it gives to the brother. No, you take it. Outgrown. So, overcoming those desires. If it's not possible for me to overcome, observe others. How the others have overcome this very many tendencies like this. That's why satsanga helps, how to, imbibe those character or the virtues from others also. It's not necessary you have to suffer everything and then know it. By observing also you can come to have correct knowledge. Or, if you are not observing, you have to suffer on your own. You suffering and observing your own suffering. Because of this only this happened. I did not stop this particular habit. Now I am suffering. By one's own suffering. And take the three paths, karma yoga, bhakti yoga, jnana yoga. By the path of action, reducing the selfishness, by the more love for the Lord, bhakti, or shravanam, mananam, nididhyasana, ityadi margena also. And dhyanam, by intense meditation, applying the mind steadily in the contemplation. This way, shubhavasanam prati, or in that path of shubhavasana, may that river of thoughts may be made to flow. Tatapakva kashayena nunam vijñāta vastuna shubhapyasau tvaya tyajyah vasanadhyo vidniradhina. Tataha, thereafter, pakva kashayena. Kashaya means a passion, desire, intensive one. Kashaya. That pakva kashayena, with pakva means it is fully burnt, fully ripened, fully blown out, burnt. And by that destruction of the passion, pasham dahati panditah, it is said in Upanishad also, by reduction of the passion through the right knowledge. It is said, madanat, mananat, pasham dahati panditah. By the constant churning and contemplation alone, one can overcome the lower tendencies. Pakva kashayena, noonam, for sure, vijñāta vastuna, vijñāta atma vastu vishayena jnanena. Vijñāta atma jnanena. Vijñāta means realizing the nature of the self. Shubha api, even those Shubha vasanas also, Shubha api asau tvaya tyajya. See, even the good vasanas are limited only. One should not hold on to them, then become addicted to that also. That is why it is said, even Shastra vasana is also a problem. We have given the Vitteshna, Putreshna, location and all that is given up. The Ishanatraya is there. They are all given up. But then one gets caught up in Shastra vasana. Padna hai, ye padna hai, wo padna hai. So mind will never become quiet. Even Shubha vasana must be limited. It is said that even the so-called religious observation, tapas, etc., you should do it, no doubt, up to a point where your mind has become quiet for contemplation. Otherwise, you will say, oh, today I didn't do this part, this puja I did not know. How can I become quiet? Finished. It is like when you are going to sleep, not here. You definitely have to give up all actions, right? Oh, ye karna hai, wo karna hai. Then you will never sleep. At some point at time, what do you say? Kal karenge, aaj nahi. I will postpone it to tomorrow. Nahi, aaj nahi hoga, because I am tired. No, here it is not out of tiredness. Huh? I have a greater priority to keep my mind in the self. Therefore, even the so-called Shubha vasana, which helped me up to this point, must be kept aside. Shubha vasana api, Shubha api asau, tvaya bayu tyajya, to be given up. Vasana adyaha niradina, being without any anxiety. The earlier vasanas, vasanadyaha shubha api, even they are helpful, no doubt, tyajya tvaya, to be given up. As Gurudev would say, pole vaulter is taking the pole and trying to vault. When he reaches the top, he has to leave the pole. Otherwise, what happens? Pole, the bar, and everybody will fall down. He will not reach the other side. The same way, as much as when you are going to sleep, slowly as you sleep, you give up your pillow. Pillow means you don't give up pillow, but you are lying down the thought, this pillow is very soft, this bed is very soft, nice. You know, what's it called? Intelligent pillow, what is it called? Bed nowadays. Memory foam. Zzz, goes up also. All these are all right until you sleep, right? Once you have slept, none of them are of any use. In the same way, even though Shubha vasanas help you to reach that point, don't hold on to those things. Leave it. That happens naturally. But sometimes you have to do consciously also. Otherwise, that will keep you occupied. Shanai shanai ubramed buddhyadridi girhiteya atma samstam manakritva na kinchitapi chintayet. Atma samstam manakritva, having kept the mind in the self, leave all thoughts. Na kinchitapi chintayet. No, nothing to be thought of. Reduction of the thoughts to reach a point of inner quietude, having reached to which no more engagement or invoking of any new thought. As Gurudev would say, last thought thoughted. No more new thought coming in. And that inner quietude of that arrested quietude in which alone one can dwell or abide in the self. So, moksha dvare dvarapalaha chatvara parikirtitaha shamo vichara santoshaha chaturta sadhu sangamaha dvarapalakaha. There are 4 doorkeepers are there. Moksha dware. At the door of moksha, there are 4 gatekeepers. Chatvaraha parikirtitaha. They are spoken to be or declared, 4 of them. Indeed, there are 3 doors to hell. In Bhagavad Gita it is said, no? Kama, Krodha and Lobha. Edatriyam tyajet. So, Narakasya dwaram. The deep doorway to 3, there are 3 doorways too. Trividam narakasyedam dwaram nashitam atmana kamakrodhasya lopascha tasmadedatrayam tyajet. If you want to go towards Naraka, 3 doors are there. Desire, anger, greed. So these 3 are considered as the 3 doors to hell. Whereas 4 dwarapalakas to 1 door to moksha. And what are the 4? Shamaha, mano nigraha, quietude of the mind, ability to reduce the mind to the minimum. That is the first one. Vicharaha, when with that quietened mind engage in contemplation upon the highest truth. Vicharaha. And about the world and the experiences of the world, santoshaha, contentment. कुछ करने का कुछ नहीं है, जो मुझे चाहिए वो मिल गया. I have got what I need. After all, our needs are very simple. Reduce the need, then you will not be greedy. Enough. Whatever is needed, it's already there. Santosha. Then 4th one, most important, is sadhu sangamaha. That inspiration to live in this way comes from association with men of wisdom. When that is consistently given, there is constant inspiration. Either by swadhyaya, or if the opportunity arises to be able to engage in satsanga, satsangadeva nissangaha. Only by the satsanga alone it is possible for one to stay away from dussanga. And that is primarily a first inspiration also comes from that only. So shamaha, vicharaha, santoshaha and sadhu sangamaha. If you look at it carefully, sadhu sangamaha is a physical action. You go there, and there when you sit there and listen, that helps. Santoshaha is of the mind. I can live with mere minimum ones and I don't need anything more. That contentment comes. Such a content mind alone can do vichar. About the higher thing one can contemplate only when the mind is not dwelling upon the mundane ones. Only by vichara, the mind becomes quiet, still, available. So you can go that way. Sadhu Sangha helps you in Santosha, helps that in Vichara, Vichara helps in Shama. So the four gatekeepers help you in overcoming the Ashubha Vasanas. Even the Shubha Vasana, these are all four, you can consider these four as Shubha Vasana. Satsanga, going for Satsanga itself is a Vasana, but that is for of a good nature, auspicious one. Then Vichara is also, or Santosha also, in the form of a desire to be content, desire to engage in Satsanga, desire to engage in contemplation, desire to quieten the mind. These four. Continuing in the next chapter, Vasistha Uvacha, we'll start that and then finish that. Bandhasya tavatrup, that's right, no? Have I? Oh, okay. Bandhasya tavatrupam tvam katyamanamidam shrunu tataswarupam mokshasya Nyāsyasi tvam asamshayam. So this third chapter begins with Atma Jnana, Prakaranam. This Prakarana is about self-knowledge. To gain the self-knowledge, we should understand first of all, what is the nature of bondage. Because if I say I want to be free, if somebody says I want to be free, from what? Wo main pata nahi. You know, once it so happened, I was giving a lecture, long time back. So one person came to me after the end of the lecture, Swamiji, I have decided. What? Moksha chahiye. Mujhe moksha de do. So I said, okay, now tell me what is moksha. Whatever it is, give me. अरे आपको पता भी नहीं वो क्या है? How do I give? I cannot give anyway. If somebody gives you, I'll give you moksha, stay far away from such people. Longer that beard, greater should be your doubt. Gurudev will say, longer the beard, greater should be. Nobody can give you moksha. Can anybody give you sleep? Of course. You can take that, but then again, that is artificial sleep. It will force you to sleep. It should be naturally gliding into the state of sleep out of tiredness, whatever. So in the same way, moksha is not, okay, I'll give you. These are all money gathering method, you know. Now here, you should know what is bondage, then only what is freedom. If I see that I am not bound, then seeking for freedom will not happen. Are you bound? I am free only. Nobody is binding me. I am fine. Nobody is in bondage. Nobody is restricting me. So, what is real bondage? So, that is why he says, Bandhasya tavat rupam. The actual nature of the bondage, tvam katyamanam idam shrunu. So that what is to be spoken about bondage by me, you listen. Katyamanam shrunu. Whatever is going to be spoken, that you please listen. Then tataha swarupam nyasyasi. Mokshasya swarupam nyasyasi. Then you know what is freedom. Asamshayam nyasyasi tvam. Without any doubt. Now, in Vedanta, what we say, really speaking, there is no moksha. Oh my God, Swami, this is too much. Moksha nahi to kya karta hu main, baby? So I thought some moksha is there somewhere. I have to reach there, somewhere, called moksha. I am so bound here, I am so attached, I am so much constrained and limited, I want to gain moksha. I have to go somewhere. कहीं नहीं जाना है भाई. So somebody says, I am going to sleep. Where are you going? Where are you going? He has gone to sleep. Where? You can see him. He's not gone anywhere. He's lying down and very, very much soundly he is there. He's gone to sleep means what? He's not available to the present state of transaction. He's not gone anywhere. Physically, he's not gone anywhere. The mind has become detached from the worldly activities. That is what you call gone to sleep. He went to sleep. Where did he go? Similarly, it is gamanam na avagamanam eva. Avagamanam na gamanam. Gamana means going. Avagamana means knowing. So the word ava, when you put there as a upasarga, it is avagacchati, na gacchati. He is not going anywhere. Moksha is avagamanam. Moksha is to know. We'll see that more of it. But therefore, bandha must be clearly clarified. What is it? Then you know what it is to be sought after. What is moksha can be explained. Om sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayaha, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukkhabhat bhavet. Om shanti shanti shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.